contest and heads them up for Jack Kennedy. What a big 24 hours he's got. Apples Jade, Sam Crow to follow tomorrow. 2 Benie Dieux for Ruby Walsh, 3 Indian Stream, Tom Scudamore, 4 Dieux Girl, Barry Garrity, 5 Cafe Grace, Nico de Boinville, 6 Bague comes here rather than the stayers, Richard Johnson, 7 Midnight Jazz, Daryl Jacob, 8 Midnight Tour, Davy Russell, and 9 Prava Laguna for Danny Mullins. So Apples Jade, another short-priced favourite. Makers getting itchy.
You know, I think Apples Jade will be ridden pretty handily. She stays very well. Just keep her out of trouble and keep it simple.
Good luck to the ITV7 players, Richard.
And Apples Jade bounces straight out into the lead then for this OLBG Mares Hurdle, attended by Indian Stream and Bague at a steady gallop. Dieux Girl in the Manus hoops with a white face as they rise at flight number 1. In 5th place was Midnight Jazz, just ahead of Benie Dieux in the pink colours as they head on towards the 2nd. Cafe Grace in the white cap with the red star as they reach flight number 2. Took it in about 6th place, just ahead of the yellow cap of Midnight Tour. Prava Laguna is held up towards the back, but this is a soft lead for Apples Jade. Out in front, only a length clear, but stacked them up early on as a big sweeping turn with Bague in 2nd place. One that's being kept wide is the outsider, Indian Stream, in the maroon and green colours on the outside of the hoop jacket of Dieux Girl with that white face. Midnight Jazz with on the inside running rail, Cafe Grace. Benie Dieux races in 7th place with Midnight Tour in 8th. And Prava Laguna continues at the back of the field. So Jack Kennedy will be pretty happy early on with Apples Jade, settled reasonably well out in front. Bague poised in 2nd for Richard Johnson as they pop over flight number 3. Slightly slow leap there by Midnight Tour. So heading up the home straight, still with over a circuit to travel. Apples Jade from Bague, who's 3/4 of a length back. In 3rd is Dieux Girl towards the inside with Indian Stream. 5th place for Midnight Jazz, and then behind these Cafe Grace. Benie Dieux still being ridden quietly at the back of the field in the pink jacket, and the last couple remain at this stage, Midnight Tour and Prava Laguna. Continuing their progress midway between flights 3 and 4. Still 7 to take, and out in front Apples Jade leading for Jack Kennedy. In 2nd place is Bague, and racing in 3rd is Dieux Girl. Indian Stream on the outside of Midnight Jazz, and then Cafe Grace. Behind these is Benie Dieux as they rise. And the next Apples Jade just put herself right slightly to the right and just had a little bit of a look there at continuing on up the run-in. She knows that's where the winning line is, but she has to go round again and continues to show the way. Apples Jade leading from in 2nd, Bague in front of the stands with Dieux Girl in 3rd place, disputing with Indian Stream, but this has been the steadiest race run so far, at least in these earlier stages, with Midnight Jazz continuing on the outside. So Apples Jade's had quite a quiet time bit out in front. Jack Kennedy, I imagine, would be pretty happy at this stage.
The big worry with Apples Jade is every time she's in front on her own, she tends to be more dramatically going right-handed, AP, but Jack Kennedy's desperate for a bit of company.
Yeah, he'd love Richard Johnson to go upsides him because she stays really well, and he'd like to go a bit quicker, but she is going a little bit right.
So see if she does that again at this flight. Pretty straight and true. Oh, and there's a hefty fall for Cafe Grace. Nico de Boinville on the floor. But a hefty, both up okay, quickly up as well. It's great to see as Apples Jade leads by a length from Bague. Dieux Girl is in 3rd place, Indian Stream on the outside of Midnight Jazz. And behind these Midnight Tour, Benie Dieux in 7th place and Prava Laguna, as now Bague obliges and is fired into that flight, takes it up from Apples Jade. So Bague confirmed stamina, and now she's trying to put that to good use and ruffle the feathers of Apples Jade, who's still sitting quietly in 2nd. 3rd place for Dieux Girl. In 4th place is Midnight Jazz. Indian Stream just losing the position. Prava Laguna, by contrast, is making some progress, and they are still pretty well bunched. So Bague, despite going to the front, hasn't really pressed on just yet. Apples Jade sitting in 2nd place. 3rd there for Midnight Jazz. Dieux Girl comes next. Benie Dieux trying to creep closer on the outside of Midnight Tour, and Prava Laguna, having quickly made ground, is equally quickly losing it again as they run downhill towards 3 from the finish. So Bague for Richard Johnson out in front. Move to the outside now is Apples Jade, 3/4 of a length away. Dieux Girl disputing 3rd with Midnight Jazz. Then behind these Benie Dieux with Midnight Tour's yellow cap. Indian Stream out wide and Prava Laguna. 3 from the finish. Bague with Apples Jade looking to join in again as they take this flight. There's about half a length or so between them. Bague now trying to press on. Apple's Jade still travelling strongly, just inclined to hang out to the right slightly. Dieux's Girl comes next. Dieux is trying to get involved. Pink colours as they race towards 2 from the finish. Bague and Apple's Jade head towards 2 out with precious little between them. Dieux is now asked for the effort as they take the final turn. Bague with Apple's Jade, the two of them still locked in combat. In third place, Midnight Tour's made good ground onto the heels of the leaders. Apple's Jade, just inclined to hang out to the right, is not making it easy. And now a new threat on the scene as Midnight Tour moves through to head Apple's Jade, who is in trouble. Bague and Dieux. This is the last in the mares, and it's Midnight Tour at a big price who leads. Apple's Jade, Bague makes a bad mistake. Over on the far side is Dieux. Near side, Midnight Tour. Far side, Dieux. Precious little between them. Apple's Jade fighting back. Dieux narrowly in front from Midnight Tour as they head towards the line. Dieux. Normal service resumed in the mares. Walsh and Mullins landed again. Midnight Tour, a gallant race in defeat, then Apple's Jade, who wasn't the easiest ride. Indian Stream was next, Dieux's Girl behind these Midnight Jazz, and Bague whose chance was ended by that mistake at the last. Dieux has won for Ruby Walsh and Willie Mullins. Astonishing record in this particular race, and there she toughed it out. Midnight Tour ran so bravely in second. Apple's Jade's ended up on the near side rail, wanted to go right-handed from the third last, and she has given up her crown and given partial respite to the bookmakers. Dieux will still win popular, and they were clear of Indian Stream as well as Screamer in a remote fourth. Quevega dominated this race for years, Vroom Vroom Mag as well, and they've won it again, this combination.